Today we are looking at the Ubuntu Kylin 23.10. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So I'm running it on a virtualization which is a VMware with 60 GB of hard disk and 4 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So here we have the welcome screen of Ubuntu Kylin. So it took almost like a 4 to 5 minutes to show up the welcome screen from the beginning. So it should be more or less of time consuming in your PC. So it took like 4 to 5 minutes in my PC, so it should be different more or less for you. So first you need to choose your location. So you already know all these things, but I'm going to say it again because some of the viewers don't know because they are newcomers or the beginners in Linux. So that's the reason. So you get like a live boot or the option which is called try Ubuntu Kylin, which is like a live boot, and the other option is like a Ubuntu installation or the install Ubuntu Kylin. So this is to use as like a live boot, and this is for the installation. So it's always a good option, or the my opinion, it's always a good option to go with the live boot first. So if you are satisfied without any bugs or any crashes like that, you can go with the installation. So always choose the live boot because it's going to ruin your PC if they have like some of the bugs or crashes. So I don't want you to ruin your PC. That's the reason I'm always warning you again and again in every video. So that's the reason. So always go with the live boot. So it's going to take like a few seconds, and always try to use the live boot for 2 to 3 hours so you can find any bugs or anything like that. So if you don't find any bugs or anything, then go with the installation. So you can check like 4 to 5 videos, not only my channel, you can check out other channels too, so that you can get all the information, proper information, so that you can go with the installation. Don't just blindly go with single channel or single video. So that's the loudest sound from the Ubuntu Kylin, which is notification or startup sound. So always go with like a 5 to 6 videos, check all the videos and go with the installation. Don't blindly go with someone's video and install, because it's your PC, it's your responsibility. So it's going to ruin your PC if you don't properly install. So it's be careful to check out all the videos. Don't only check out my channel, check out other channels to get all the information. So here is the desktop layout which you get here. So let's open the first system monitor. In my opinion or my choice, I usually don't like the Ubuntu Kylin or the other one which is Ubuntu Unity. So those are the least favorite Linux distros of mine. So I really don't like it. Another one is Deep in Linux. So that's my opinion. So if you like all these three Linux distros, I don't have any problem. So I really don't like this Linux distro. So that's my opinion. It's clearly will be different for you. So right now in the beginning of the video or the startup of the Linux distro, the RAM is almost like a 1.3 GB, and the CPU is almost around like a below 25%. As you can see, we need to run like up to 60 seconds or a minute to get the stable graph. If the graph is almost stable, so that's a stable ISO. So this is also a stable ISO release. So let's try to run it until 60 seconds and see whether we get a high graph or low graph here. So this is the beginning, which is usually common in every Linux distro. As you open the system monitor, you will always be seeing this high graph in the beginning. So that's the reason I always mention to run it until the 60 seconds or a minute, so you can get the complete information or the stable graph of the CPU. And the beginning of the RAM is almost like a 1.3 GB, so it's almost like a 34%. Already mentioned that I'm using a 4 GB of RAM for my VMware, so it says as a 3.8 GB. So it's almost like a 60 second, and just here is some high peak because of some process running back in the background. So let's try to see all the process running. So these are all the process running right now in the beginning of the video. So as you can see, I'm going to put the system monitor in the right side corner throughout the video, so you can see the changes and all the resources consuming throughout the video. So this is the Ubuntu Kylin release 23.10 and the code name is Mantic Miniature. I already made all the Ubuntu flavor videos. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out in my channel. So these are all the last the Linux distros which I didn't cover, Ubuntu flavors, which is Ubuntu Kylin, and another one will be Ubuntu Studio. Today I'll be posting that two videos. So this is the RAM. So the default RAM you will be getting in all the Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors are 6.5.0-9, and you already have some error or bugs here. So this is the usual problem with the Ubuntu Kylin in every freaking version. So that's the reason I always hate this Linux distro, and the Unity one and that Deep in Linux 3 Linux distro is my least favorite, or I really hate them. So it's clearly up to you. If you love it, I don't have any problem. So here is the bug, already we got it. So let's put the system monitor in the right side corner. So let's quickly change the display settings. So it looks pretty odd right now. So let's try to change the display settings. So let's go to the settings. Again, it should take a few seconds here. That's the usual problem in this type of Linux distro. So let's try to control our emotions and try to make this video. So let's try to change the resolution. First you have to change to according to your monitor. My monitor is like a 1920 into 1080, so you get the 60 hertz, you already know that. So about settings, this is the version. So the official website of the Ubuntu Kylin was not properly working, so I went to the ubuntu.com and searched for the Ubuntu Kylin release and downloaded the ISO file there because the official website wasn't working. So let's try to see now. So let me open the Firefox web browser, which is the default web browser in the all the Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors. So there is a high in the 100 MB of RAM or 200 MB. As you can see, it's almost 1.6 GB now because of the Firefox. So let's first check the Firefox version. It should be 118.0.1. So this is the version you always get in all the Ubuntu flavors. Not always in this version or in this case. So every Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors has this version right now. So let's type in about and support to get some of the information. Hit enter. So this is some of the important information for some of the viewers. So if you don't want to know this thing, you can just skip this part. Or if you want to learn, or if you want to know this information, or you can just pause the video, or you can just slow down the playback speed, which should be default in a 1.0 in YouTube settings. Change that to 0.25 and you should be seeing everything in a slow motion so you can read everything properly here. So let me scroll it down and let me scroll it up so you can pause the video or you can read completely without having an issue. So this is all the information you get. So let's go to their official website. Let's type in, I'm using a VPN, so that's the reason I will choose the DuckDuckGo, because Google reCAPTCHA will trigger if I am using a VPN. So sometimes VPN triggers the Google reCAPTCHA, so that's the reason. You need to type in the search term, which is Ubuntu Kylin, and hit enter. I hope the website is working now. So I don't think the website is still working because it will take ages to open, as you can see. Let's wait for a few more seconds and try. So if it doesn't work, so let's go to the ubuntu.com. I'm going to show you how to download from the ubuntu.com, the official Ubuntu website. You need to type in ubuntu.com, or you can directly search the Ubuntu in your search engine. So that's the case I already mentioned. It will take ages to open. The website is not working for some reason. So let's go to the official website of ubuntu.com. So here is the ubuntu.com. You just need to type in Ubuntu Kylin in the search bar of the Ubuntu. Hit enter. So you will get the daily build here. I'm going to show you the actual release, not the daily build. Don't download the daily build. So here is the daily build. As you can see, you should be seeing this information here. Ubuntu Kylin 23.10 Mantic Miniature daily build. So you need to just remove this part in the search bar, remove until the Kylin. So this is the URL. You can directly type in this thing in your search bar. Go with the releases and scroll it down to Mantic or 23.10. You can choose anything here. So go to release, and here it is. You don't see any daily build or beta version or anything like that. So this is the stable ISO file. So it's a 4.2 GB, and I'm going to show another option like this 23.10. You can go with the 23.10 instead of Mantic. Release. So you'll be seeing the same as the previous thing, like a Mantic miniature repository. So here it is. The file size is around like a 4.2 GB. So let's try to download it. So that's it. The downloading process was simply simple. So the download will be started. So still the website isn't open. So the release notes are same as the most of the all Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors. The default version of the kernel is 6.5, and all the end of life will be 9 months, which is mid of 2024 or July 2024, as you can see. So it's almost 9 months. So let's try to open the terminal and get some of the information of the distro. I'm going to show all the information here about the distro. So let's first check the about version of the terminal, which is 1.26.1, or you can call it as 1.26.1. Usually you should call the 26 before the point, so that's the reason I'm saying like that. So let's type in INXI and hit enter. So it's not pre-installed, so we need to copy this command and install the INXI to get all the information. So let's try to install. You need to type Y or yes to continue. It will usually take like a 20 seconds maximum to install the INXI. Let's hope it works faster than that. So it worked pretty much fast, so no problem. Let's type in INXI now. Hit enter. So this is my CPU. Already mentioned I'm using a i5 1240p, and this is the default kernel for the Ubuntu Kylin and Ubuntu flavors. You get all this kernel in all the Ubuntu flavors. So uptime is almost 13 minutes, almost 4 to 5 minutes it took in the just load up in the desktop layout. It took to load up the desktop layout almost like a 4 to 5 minutes. So we didn't even finished anything. So let's try to continue with the video. So the memory is almost like a 1.48 GB of a 3.78, as you can see. Here it is 1.5 GB. So I'm using a 60 GB already mentioned, so I'm going to go with another thing. Processors right now are 281. INXI version is 3.3.29. So let's type in another command, which is INXI-b. Hit enter. So you get some of the information here. Let me read it for you. So you get all the CPU, kernel, and storage, which I already mentioned. So here it is. Sorry, system information. You get all the information like a host name, which is Ubuntu Kylin, the kernel, and it's 64 bits, and the desktop environment not available right now. So the distro is Ubuntu Kylin 23.10, and the code name is Mantic Miniature. So the code name for the Ubuntu 23.10 or the 23.10 version is a Mantic Miniature. You already know that. So this is the machine. Under machine it says as a VMware because I'm running it on a VMware. So this is my CPU information, which is already mentioned in the beginning of the video. So this is the graphics. So the VMWGFX version is 2.20.0.0. Display is X11. Server Xarch version 1.21.1.7. So the display resolution right now is 1920 into 1080 with a 60 Hz, which I already showed in the beginning of the video. So OpenGL version is a 4.3. Mesa is 23.2.1. So LLVM release. So this is the network information. So this is the drives. So process, uptime, total memory, available memory, used memory, shell, INX version, all this all mentioned in the beginning of the video. So I'm going to type in another command, which is inxi-G. Keep an eye on the RAM and the CPU. I forgot to type in capital letter, so let me type in again. inxi-G. So keep an eye on the RAM and the CPU throughout the video, so you can see all the changes here. So here you can see all the information is available right now, which is for the command inxi-G. So let me type in the cat:/etc:/issue. Hit enter. So you get the Ubuntu 23.10 for that command. So let's type in neofetch. So usually neofetch will be not pre-installed. You need to type in the sudo apt install neofetch, or you can just copy this command and paste it in here in the terminal. So usually it will take like a 20 to 30 seconds or maybe less, more or less in your PC. It depends on the PC and internet connection. So it's almost complete. 100%, I guess. So the RAM is almost 1.6 GB and CPU is low. It's not stable, but it's under still 50%. So let's type in neofetch now. Hit enter. So here is the complete information. You can just pause the video and read everything, or you can just scroll it like this. So let's type in another command, which is inxi-sv8. So this is the command which will grab complete distro information. Hit enter. So you got all the information of the distro. So let's scroll it up and go through all these things. It will be less, so I'm going to, most of this part will be skipped. So this is all the system information. So I already mentioned all these things, so I'm going to go with the machine. So this is the machine information. You just pause the video, read everything. So here is the memory information. Complete memory information is here. So this is the CPU information. Complete CPU information is here. So these are all the vulnerabilities. So this is the graphics information. Graphics, display, monitor, all the information is here, which is XOR version already mentioned, I guess. So display resolution. So available monitor resolutions are here. So complete information is here. You can just pause video. And this is the audio information. Let me go through all these things, which is Pulse Audio version 6.1, as you can see, and ALSA version K6.5.0-9 generic. So you can just pause the video, or you can change the playback speed to get all the information here. So this is the complete network information. The Bluetooth information, RAID, drives, partition, swap, unmounted, USB, all the information is here. So this is the sensor and repos information. So these are all the process information is here. So at last, the final thing is process running right now are 282. Uptime is almost 18 minutes. Wake ups 310. Init systemd version 253. And the, let's check it out, bash version 5.2.15. So you got all the information here. We just left with the HESTUP. So some viewers want to see HESTUP, so let me show you that. Let's type in HESTUP. So we need to try to install the HESTUP. So there is no pre-installed HESTUP here, so we need to copy the command, paste it in the terminal, hit enter. Usually takes 10 seconds maximum. So it should be different. Everything in this video shown will be different timings in your video, in your PC, because our PCs doesn't match here. So you should, if you have like a slow internet connection, it will be late. If you have a high speed, you should be faster than me. So let's type in HESTUP now. So this is the HESTUP. So when compared to the previous version of the Ubuntu Kylin, I guess I should say this is better than older version. So there was some like a bug crash in the beginning of the video, but everything is going good. So that's pretty much good. So let's try to go through all these things and see whether we get any bugs or anything more or like that. But till now almost 18 minutes it's going, everything is good. Just we found a bug in the beginning of the video. So I hope it works properly throughout the video, so we can recommend this Linux distro to other viewers too. So if not, I'm not going to recommend this. So let's what we left is with the installation. I'm not going to install it on my PC because I want to make another video, so that's the reason I'm just going to show you the process of installation. So if you are already a Linux user, or if you are already a pro Linux user, you don't need to watch all these things of the installation because you already know how to do that. You can just skip this part. So the installation will be like this. First you need to choose your language. There are plenty of available languages here, as you can see. After choosing your language, you need to just click on continue. So here you have the installation app or the installer. So in the live boot you will be getting the installer, so you don't need to worry about in the beginning of the video. So I already mentioned that there will be a option in the live boot of the installer, so you don't need to try to directly install in the beginning of the video. I shown that. So you don't need to just launch the Linux distro and try to install it. You can just use the Linux distro in live boot and then go with the installation. So this is the app which is called as install Ubuntu Kylin. So this part is for the beginners who don't know how the Linux distros works or the installation work in the Linux distro. So you need to choose your language here. I'm choosing the English United States. There are plenty of other variant available for the English United States, like Russian, Hawaiian, all the option. So or you can just type it here to test your keyboard or detect your keyboard layout here. Let's click on continue. By far the Ubuntu Kylin 23.10 is working properly, so I hope this works throughout the video. So let's try to see that too. So the updates and other software, these are the both options you can choose, or it's clearly up to you. It's clearly customizable. You can do that later too. So in the installation, I hope it will be a good option for you to check this button, because it says as a download updates while installing Ubuntu Kylin, so it will be helpful. And the install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware, this one is too helpful. So it's clearly up to you. In my opinion, it's a good option to check these things, and up to you. It's clearly. So let's click on continue. It's going to take like a 30 to 40 seconds in my PC. I'm again saying in my PC because usually people will confuse that it was quick or less. It was more than 30 seconds. So yeah, that's the reason I'm saying it will take 30 to 40 seconds or lesser in my PC. So instead of waiting for this, let's go check out some desktop features like a date and calendar, like a panel options, all these things. So here is the notification. There was a bit of lag, but properly working. So let's go back to the installation. Installation is started. So this option is like a erase disk and install Ubuntu Kylin. It will delete the current operating system, or the delete current files or media files, everything which is available in that hard disk. You need to choose your hard disk here. So advanced features. So this is the new option which says as a erase disk and use ZFS. So this is the new option. So you can choose the this option or something else. Something else is like you can install the Linux distro alongside with your current operating system, or you can call it like a dual operating system or a dual boot options. So this is the thing. You need to create a partition for that. So you can watch another guy's channel or another videos, so you can get how to install this alongside with Linux distros with your current operating system. You need to check other tutorials too. There are a lot of guys who make these videos, so it's always a good option. Go check out like 5 other channels and go with the installation. Don't just watch my channel and go with the installation. That will be a foolish thing to do that thing when you don't know. You need to search for all the things for installation, because it's your PC, it's your responsibility to do all these things. So I'm trying to warn you again and again, don't ruin your PC, because it is nowadays the PC is a lot of costly, so that's the reason I'm mentioning that. So these are the installations. You get a single boot option here, you get a dual boot, or you can do anything here. So you can click on install now. You need to create like a username, password. That's the common thing you should do in every PC or every operating system. So after that you will be started with the installation. It will take usually 5 to 10 minutes or maybe lesser or more in your PC. So it depends on the PC, and it depends on the if it's stable ISO file or a beta version, whatever the ISO file it is, it will take like a less or more that time. So that was the installation of the Ubuntu Kylin, or installation process. I didn't install, so I'm going to say installation process. So let's quit it. So let's do the final part, which is open some random apps like 10 to 12 apps. I usually do this thing to test whether the Linux distro will handle that much of apps, or whether it crashes, or all these things, to get the proper usage of the distro. So I'm going to open like a random apps, like a 10 to 12 apps, to see whether it crashes or not. As you can see, there is a bit of lag or like a freeze here. As you can see, when I'm scrolling, for some reason it is not smooth. So when I do like a 5 to 10 times, as you can see, there is a bit of lag. So let's try to test this Linux distro now. So let's open some random things like an Ansible document viewer. That was quick. Let's open the burner. So there is no thing like you need to open this apps or that app. I want to test it, so that's the reason I'm going to open some random things. So I usually do all these things in all the Linux distros to test, or to give the exact opinion of my PC, or my perspective to the viewers, so they can use this Linux distro or not. So they can judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. So let me open some more apps. It's just a 4 apps. Fifth one, Rhythm Box, Thunderbird. Let's open Thunderbird. Sixth one. Let's scroll down. Video player. Seventh one. Let's open the some other things. What we left here is Pluma text editor, I guess. So let's scroll it up. Let's open the gparted. As you can see, there is a bit of freeze in the scrolling, or lag. Not a major lag, but it is a bit of not a smooth scrolling. So let's open the, I think I opened the software center, I guess. So we get all these things. So these are all the default apps you get in the Ubuntu Kylin. So let's open the Peony. So that's all, I guess. Did I open the Rhythm Box? I opened the Rhythm Box too. So let's see the disks. Let me open the cheese. Here it is. It's almost like now 11 apps, I guess. Let's try to open more. Let's even open the document scanner, I guess. Let's scroll it down. Document scanner. I think we are good, I guess. Let's try to scroll it down. Do we have anything left here? So this is like a weather app. Let's even open that thing too. I didn't open the Shortwell app, so let me open that too. There is no smoothness in the scrolling while you scrolled up in the search bar or the application bar. So there is a bit of lag or some freeze or stucking thing here, as you can see. So I think they should fix this thing too. So let's open the startup disk creator. So that's all. So let's go back to the system monitor and check the resources now. So right now it's almost 2.5 GB, or the 66% of 3.8 GB. And CPU will be not stable because we opened all the apps instantly. So that's the reason there will be a high peak, low peak in here. So after all the apps opened, it will go down eventually. So as you can see, it dropped down here. It will go down until like a 30% below. So that's, you can assume that all the apps are opened. So as you can see, here is the final, or the app when apps open. This is the final RAM and the CPU resources. So let's put it aside. So as you can see, everything is going good. So while switching the apps, there is no lag or no delay in here. We can switch in the taskbar too. So as you can see, everything is working properly. That's pretty awesome. They fixed, I guess, all the bug fixes like a previous version. So we just got the bug fix in the beginning of the video. Other than that, there is nothing, any errors or anything. I didn't find anything like that. So it's clearly up to you to try it or install it on your own. So you should judge all these things. So as you can see, every app is opening instantly. That's pretty good because there is a lot of space in the RAM. As you can see, it has still like almost 1.5 GB around like that. So when you open a bunch of apps or when you install the lot of apps like more than these apps, most of the apps are lightweight. We don't have like a GIMP or something like a Blender app or the Gwenview. All some of the high consuming apps, not a Gwenview, like a Inkscape, like most graphics apps will consume a lot of memory, but we don't have anything like that. We just have the Thunderbird and the LibreOffice, I guess. I don't think LibreOffice is open right here, I guess. So let's try to open the LibreOffice, which is a calculator. Let me open that, or writer. You can open anything. So RAM will be high now. So when you install all this like a GIMP and all the big apps, big or the heavy resource consuming apps, so you need to be very careful while doing that, because when you open like a 5 to 6 app which consumes a lot of RAM and you have like a 4 GB of RAM, so it might crash or it might just stuck on the screen like in my previous video. So which was I guess some Linux distro I made yesterday. I don't remember properly because I will be making 6-7 videos a day. So the videos are available in the previous video or previous in my channel. So let me go to the system monitor. So here it is, 2.7 GB. It's still less, but you have still a lot of RAM, so everything will be working properly. So if you have a 2 GB of RAM, I don't know whether to use this Linux distro or not. I'm not going to recommend, I'm not going to hate this Linux distro for you, because it's clearly up to you to how it will perform on a 2 GB of RAM. I don't know. So I can't even say anything about that when I don't know about that thing. So it will be you to judge when you use this Linux distro. So if you have a 2 GB of RAM or if you have a low end PC, try it on your own. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know how it performs, so I can't say anything. So in the 4 GB of RAM and I have a 12th gen i5, so it is working properly. I just had one error, that's it. So we opened all the apps, almost low RAM consuming apps, but it's still working properly. So it's clearly up to you to use this Linux distro or not, but in my point of view, it is properly updated to all these things, or they have fixed most of the things than previous version. The previous version was a properly a pain to use this Linux distro. I was really hating that older version because there was a lot of pop-ups like a bug error, something like going crazy around throughout the video. You can check it out my previous version of the Ubuntu Kylin. You should be seeing a lot of things. It was a bit of torture to use this Linux distro, but in this version I am happy to see only a one bug fix, or a one bug which I encountered in the beginning of the video. So it is working properly and smoothly in this version. So as you can see, everything is working instantly, so that's pretty nice. At least they worked on it, but the Unity version is probably still the worst. Even the 23.10 version was totally worst. I need to say that. I don't have any hate about of the developers, but the distro was properly not properly worked or anything like that. It was a lot of problem to work on that Linux distro. So I rage quit it on the Ubuntu Unity video. So you can see if you want to check that out video. So let's check all the version and end the video because we completed everything. So I said my point of view of this Linux distro. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. It's clearly up to you. So the LibreOffice version you should be getting 7.6.2.1, which is same in every Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors. So let me close this thing also. So about disk, you should be getting a version of 45.0 of so this is the version. You can pause the video and read everything. So let me close this thing also. So about cheese, you get a 44.1. So let me close this thing. About scanners, you should be getting a 44.0, and Ploma text editor 1.26.0, Shotwell version 0.32.2. Let me close this thing also. Gparted 1.5, I guess. Yes, it is 1.5.0, which is same in every Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors. Startup disk, you need to do all these things on your own. So the Thunderbird, you should be getting the version Supernova, I guess. So let's check the version. We should be 115.3, I guess. Yep, it is 115.3.1, which is same in every Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors. So let me close this thing also. So as you can see, everything is properly closing. Everything has been working smoothly. That's pretty awesome. But the scroll bar in the application is pretty weird or a bit of lag. So that if that fixed, everything will be flawless, I guess. One bug is you can just ignore that thing. It is usual in every Linux distro, so you can just ignore that part. So video player 3.1.1, you can't say anything just for because of one bug in the beginning of the video. It is properly, if that was good, so I don't have any problem. So even though if you had one problem, I don't have still any problem because everything is working properly. So only thing is this thing, as you can see, there is a bit of laggy thing or any like a bit of it is stucking somewhere around here. As you can see, when you scroll it like 3 to 4 times, it will totally stuck here, as you can see. So that's the only problem, and some beginner bug. That's the only problem I have. So other than that, everything is going properly. So the rhythm box is 3.4.7. So this is like a sticky note. Let me close this thing. Burner version is 3.0.0. That's good. And you have the file manager. So let's try to see this version too. Peony 3.2.2. Let's close this thing. This is the first time you have entered the system or software source. Abnormal to install, uninstall, upgrade software in the system. You need to connect to the network to update the software source. I've already connected. So if you do not have an internet or do not want to update, you can trigger these by running software store next time features. Tick no more reminders will no longer pop up prompts. Please select. Let me quit it. You can customize, you can update or don't update. It's clearly up to you. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to quit it. So let's check the version of the Atril document viewer 1.26.0. So here is the complete information of this Ubuntu Kylin 23.10. I'll change my opinion. In the beginning of the video, I said it was worst in the previous version, but they have fixed most of the things. We have just some scrolling issues, and a bug was issued or bug was encountered in the beginning of the video. Other than that, everything is working properly, so I don't have any problem with that. Just for two reasons, I can't hate any Linux distro because there will be a lot of work. If you find a bunch of errors, then I will be triggered with an anger. So I didn't find anything like that. So that's still a good Linux distro. If you want to test it, it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. So before installing, you always test it. Even it's a famous Linux distro, go with the live boot first. Then if you're satisfied without any bugs or errors, you can go with the installation. This is I'm saying warning. You can think it as a warning or anything like that. Because I don't want you to ruin your PC. That's the reason I'm saying again and again. And always don't just watch a single video of someone's and go with the installation, because you need to watch a lot of videos, or at least a 3 to 4 videos. Even if you don't have a time, just watch like a 3 to 4 videos, and whether if it's properly working or not on that version, go with the if you check with the Ubuntu Kylin 23.10, you need to check like a 3 to 4 videos of other channels too, not a single channel. Check other channels to get all the information and go with the installation. So at the end of the video, these are all the system resources, which is CPU. RAM is almost 1.7 GB, and CPU is pretty much stable. So the process running are all these things, as you can see. So these are all the process running right now. So I think that's the end of the video, I guess. So these are all the things. Let's shut it down. So I'm making another video right now, which is Ubuntu Studio. If you want to check that out video, the video will be available in a few seconds or few minutes. I'll be posting that too. So this is the end. So let's end the video here. Let's shut it down. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.